Hello there, my Purple Banditos, and welcome back to more Let's Play Pokemon Flora Sky. I'm PurpleRodri. Today we're here in the Challenge Factory, and as you guys know, we can actually go in the Challenge Factory and do missions and quests if you choose to. Now, we took care of 2 of the missions, and the rest of the missions are actually really simple, so I've gone ahead and taken care of those off-screen, and once you go ahead and take care of all the missions and the quests, they will give you enough quest points for you to buy the tickets. So they did it this way so you can actually have access to some of the other legendaries, which I think is really cool. So as you can see, I have the rare ticket, the old sea map, the Aurora ticket, and the Mystic ticket, which will all allow us to go to a different island. So let's go ahead and talk to Mr. April and see which is going to be the first island that we can explore. Now, let's go ahead and make our way to Outcast Island then, and let's see what legendary Pokemon is going to be waiting for us. Now, there's a legendary in every one of these islands, so it's going to be a lot of fun getting to find them. And these aren't even the legendaries that you would expect to be here. Sometimes they're a little switched up, so it'll be a lot of fun to see who it is. Those whose memories fade seek to carve them in their hearts. I'd say that's actually pretty good. Now, I hope you guys have been having a good week. I've been having a really great Sunday today. I've been having an amazing day. I've been watching a lot of football, a lot of esports. I told you guys that Worlds for League of Legends was going on here in Chicago. I actually had the chance to go 2 days, and it was amazing. It was such a blast. Even though the days I went, the series were a little short. They were a 3-0, but I got to see, you know, Cloud9 play in North America. And then I actually had the chance to go yesterday and watch Rocks versus EDG. So it was like the #1 Chinese team versus the #1 Korean team. And it was really, really fun. It was a great experience, and I'm really happy I had the chance to go. It was so fun just being surrounded by other fans of League who were just like cheering on their teams, just cheering on the plays, and it's just always a great time to do it. It makes me really happy to see how far sports have come and that esports as a whole is growing too. Now guys, it looks like we are ready for our first legendary. Let's go ahead and set up. So here we go, guys. Rodri versus Keldeo. So let's go ahead and take on another one of the Swords of Justice. Keldeo is level 50, so let's go ahead and see what we can do. We have yellow up in front. Now, I also have gone ahead and traded up our Pokemon just a little bit. Everyone's around level 84 now, which I think is a pretty good level, just, you know, for the remainder of the game, since we do still have a couple tough legendaries to go up against. Now, I've actually been planning a lot of what we have left in this game, and it's looking like we only have a handful of legendaries left, so we are coming down to it, guys, down to the wire. You know, once you catch all of the legendaries here, you are then able to go after, you know, the big boy, the big legendary, which I think you guys know what I'm talking about, Arceus. So then once we get to that, then we will most likely have finished everything we need to here, and you know, we are getting to that point, which is going to be really cool. I've actually been getting really prepared for Sun and Moon. I've been telling you guys that I am super pumped for that game to come out. I will definitely have a Let's Play out on day 1, so make sure you guys tune in for it. And, you know, I'm definitely getting pumped for it. I'm starting to, you know, get everything together for it, and I just can't wait to see how this game's going to be. And with that, guys, we actually caught Keldeo. So with that, that was a really simple catch, and there we have it. I thought we were going to have a little bit of a tougher time with this Pokemon today, but there we go, guys. We're going to go ahead and give this guy a nickname, so let's go ahead and see if we can come up with something for Keldeo. Now, I think I'm just going to go ahead and call it something simple. Why not? I don't think we'll really have the chance to use these legendaries anyways, so we're just going to go ahead and call it Kel. So with that, Kel the Keldeo has been transferred to the PC, and we need to make our way out of here. Now, one of the things I do want to tell you guys about going inside of this place after Keldeo is make sure that you guys have waterfall coming into this, or you might end up a little bit stuck. I've just noticed that if you surf around here, the only way out is through this waterfall, so just make sure you have that ready. I've been switching up a lot of the moves on Mako. Pretty much all that's left now is exploring around and surfing around and doing all these sorts of things. So it's not like Mako will even need too much of strong moves. Who knows, though? Who knows? There might still be a battle out there that we don't know about, and that's how it goes. Let's continue on out of here, though. We caught the first legendary quite easy. So I'm actually very happy how fast we caught that one. If we could have a really lucky day and just catch all these legendaries in a go, I would be all about that. So with that, guys, let's go ahead and make our way out of this island then. We need to make our way back to the other island and see what goes from there. I'm actually excited to see how the other legendaries are going to be, since this one was actually a pretty easy catch. Hopefully they make it just easier on us since there are so many, and we're going to go ahead and see about that. So now that we are done here on Outcast Island, we are ready to make our way to another one of the islands. So let's talk to Mr. April again, and let's see where exactly we can go. So let's go ahead and check it out. We have Outcast done, so let's go to Naval Rock. And then we just have Birth Isle, and then the Abandoned Island, which, you know, there might be something big hiding there. We'll have to find about that one. With that, though, guys, we are officially on Naval Rock, and it looks like we are going to have to dive. So I will have to forget a move here on Mako. It's okay. As I was saying, we will need to use these HMs. I also hope you guys have been having a great time playing through this game. I am really happy that we are coming up on catching the rest of the legendaries, and it has been a heck of a blast. You know, it's been a heck of an adventure. We got to see a lot in this region. It was actually a pretty big place. You know, there was a lot of little hidden secrets, and I'm glad that we had the chance to play through it as well. As I did say, though, Sun and Moon is coming up, so I hope that you guys are getting really pumped for that. The demo is actually going to be coming out here in 2 days. So on Tuesday, the 18th, the demo is going to be dropping, and we are all going to get our first hands on that. So I hope you guys will definitely be tuning in for me going through that demo. I'm going to play through everything that I can and check it out as much as possible. Oh my goodness, we already made it here? Okay, let's go ahead and get ready then. Here we go, guys. Rodri versus Lugia. So let's go ahead and take on Lugia, who has just been chilling here at the bottom of the sea. Lugia is level 70, guys, so one of the strongest legendaries we've had the chance to go up against. I have Toad up in front, and this battle's on its way. I love the music, by the way. Whenever I hear these crazy battle themes, it just pumps me up. It reminds me of being a kid. It just makes me want to be a trainer. That's what it's all about, right? I feel like if we could all choose to become trainers, I think we definitely would. Let's see what we can do, though. Lugia's gonna recharge. We're gonna try to do a little something to this Lugia, you know? We're gonna try to KO this. No, we're not gonna KO this thing, guys. We are not gonna KO this thing, but we're definitely gonna have to power up a little bit to knock this thing out. Ouch, that's actually hurting quite a bit. So we're just gonna go ahead and bulk up and prepare. As I was saying, though, Sun and Moon's gonna be really fun, and I'm excited to see what the demo is actually gonna have in store. For now, I'm just gonna go into it blind and, you know, be as excited for it as you guys are, and we're gonna see what kind of Pokemon we can find and what kind of stuff we can get ourselves into. It's always great when they release the demos. I think it just pumps you up even more for the game. You're just ready. You're just like, oh my goodness, I had a little taste of the game now, and now I want the whole thing, and that's definitely what happens to me. So I know that once I get that demo, I'm gonna have a lot of fun, but it's just gonna make me want the Sun and Moon game so much. I've really been preparing really hard for Sun and Moon, and I hope that you guys are excited for it. I have a lot of really great stuff coming for Sun and Moon, and believe me, guys, it's something that I've been putting a lot of time into, and I can't wait to show you guys the results and how everything turns out. I'm actually really pumped for this, and I think it's gonna be one of our most fun adventures of all time. I think we're gonna have a really great time with it. Let's see. Oh wow, Lugia actually got confused. Let's see if we can keep on going, guys. We're gonna land another dynamic punch, and we're gonna see what we can do. Once in a while, you know, we pull something off, so we're gonna go ahead and try that. Now, another thing you guys have been asking me, you've been asking me to do more videos with Rush, and that is also something that I'm going to be working on, so I hope you guys are really pumped. I'm telling you right now, we are coming very close to finishing Flora Sky, and after that, we are going to start a lot of new crazy stuff on my channel, which I am most looking forward to. I am just so excited for it. I can't wait. You know, I knew fall was going to be a great time. It's a beautiful season, and it's also going to be a great time for our adventures. It's going to be a really good time. I remember back in 6th grade, it was around fall. This is actually one of those memories I have, and I was just playing RuneScape on my computer, and we were about to have like a little hangout at my school, like after or something. So I remember I was just playing RuneScape, and it was really breezy out, and it was just a really nice fall day. And then I remember some random guy came up to me and gave me like a full rune set, which at the time was like really amazing, like, you know, probably the best armor you could get at the time. And then he gave me a Santa hat, which was a rare item as well, you know, an item that you couldn't obtain in the game anymore, so it was worth, you know, a good amount of, you know, GP. So then I remember this guy just randomly gave me that stuff, and I felt so happy, and it was just such a beautiful fall day. And for some reason now, whenever I see those fall days, it always reminds me of that moment because it just made me so happy that someone helped me out like that. So I remember like going to the thing at my school that night and like just telling all my friends like, I can't believe it, this guy gave me a full rune set, and they were definitely all excited about that too. And with that, we actually caught Lugia, so we are doing really good so far, guys. That is 2 of the ticket legendaries caught, and that is what I could see. Lugia, the diving Pokemon. This thing is a monster. This thing is 17 feet tall. Okay, this might be one of the biggest legendaries. That is a really big one. Let's go ahead and give this guy a nickname. Now, what could we name this Lugia? You know what? Lugia does look a little bit like this to me. We're going to go ahead and just call Lugia after a color that I like. So we're going to go ahead and call Lugia Silver. So that Silver has been transferred to the PC, and we are ready to make our way out of here, guys. What the heck? Why is Lugia still there? Oh, okay. Well, see you later, Lugia. I guess Lugia just disappeared on us. But with that, we are ready to head on out. It's actually been pretty good catching these first 2. So we'll see how the other 2 ticket legendaries are. You can actually just buy the tickets, you know, at any time if you have the quest points. So you can do these, you know, in any order that you wanted. And they are actually pretty simple. It's pretty much like Flora Sky just giving them to you. I'd be thinking of it at this point. You know how hard these legendaries are to get in the actual game sometimes when you have to do these tickets that, you know, you can't even get anymore. So it's understandable that they would make it, you know, some sort of cool event thing like this. And I gotta tell you, I appreciate that in games. It's always just, you know, when you can't catch a Pokemon because the event's done or that sort of thing, it's just like, come on, there's got to be something that can be done about that. So I really do enjoy this. I think I would love to see things like this in Sun and Moon coming up, and I guess we'll see about that. Hopefully they take a little bit of like what everybody's been telling them, you know, all the feedback they get, and they really, you know, just knock it out of the park with this game. I felt like X and Y did have a lot of really good to it. Same with Omega Ruby, but we've already played through that, you know, we know Hoenn. But then you have X and Y where I feel like it lacked a little bit of story, and I really hope Sun and Moon is not going to be like that. So with that, guys, we are going to go ahead and make our way to the next island, and now we are going to go ahead and actually make our way to... We are officially in Birth Island, and this is where Deoxys is going to be. So let's go ahead and follow through with the Deoxys puzzle, which is actually pretty simple. You kind of just have to follow along. As long as you guys do it exactly how I do it, you should be fine. Ooh, I think we are pretty good. It's pretty much taking the least steps required for you to get to the triangle, and that's what's going to allow you to be able to do it. With that, I think we are just about good to go. So let's go ahead and get ready to take on the big boy, Deoxys. Here we go, guys. Rodri versus Deoxys. So let's go ahead and see what this Pokemon has in store for us. Deoxys is level 30. Okay, let's go ahead and see what we can do not to KO this Pokemon. That is my main concern at this point. It's not even catching it. It's just that our Pokemon are too strong and they could probably knock this thing out. Now, it's level 30, so let's go ahead and see how hard this Pokemon is going to be to catch. All right, Deoxys, you got to chill there. I need to check how much my moves can do to this guy. So Rock Smash. Oh, that's it. I can't do another move. Okay, so Rock Smash almost KO'd this Pokemon. Let's just go ahead and throw some Ultra Balls at it then. And we're going to have to hope that one of these Ultra Balls... Okay, so maybe Deoxys isn't going to be as hard to catch as some of the other legendaries, and I can be a-okay with that. Let's go ahead and see what else we can do then, guys. Let's check another Ultra Ball. We can't really weaken him more. I mean, I could send out Tuga. You guys know the Tuga strategy to weaken him down. But the Tuga strategy, you know, it's a 50-50. It works once in a while, and, you know, sometimes it doesn't and ends up KOing Pokemon. So it's something what we want to hold back on. Oh, okay, at least Deoxys isn't going to be doing much to us. And the leftovers are absolutely just neutralizing its damage. So we're going to keep on chucking and hoping that something is going on. You know, it's always good to stock up and be prepared. So hopefully we will be... Oh my goodness. Okay, Deoxys, I see you doing that thing. I see you doing your thing. We need to go ahead and make sure that everything goes to plan here, because I don't know how many chances we're gonna get catching these Pokemon. I also need to tell you guys that when you go into this, save before taking on the legendaries, because if you end up failing and you end up knocking them out, they're not gonna be there again. This game is not generous with that sort of thing. Just because you can go and buy another ticket at the challenge factory is not going to allow you to come back here and, you know, find this legendary. Who knows where legendary goes once they disappear? You know, that's just the mystery. It's like, what's inside of a Pokeball? You know, it's just kind of something that hopefully someday we will end up figuring out. And my goodness, this Deoxys has actually been a tough one to catch. I thought because it was level 30, it might be a little bit easier, but we probably should have still got it to the red zone. Come on, we only have a couple legendaries here, guys. It's not like any of our Pokemon, you know, are really weak to do that sort of damage. So, you know, we're a bit of a crossroads here. We're pretty much just hoping for a little bit of luck here. You know, another thing that I've been thinking about too is a battle between all of the legendaries, right? How cool would it be to just see all of the legendaries just like, you know, going into like a battle royale and just seeing like who comes out? You know, which one of the legendaries do you guys think would come out on top? Because I've been thinking, oh wow, there we go. There we go. That's what I like to see. Deoxys was caught. As I was saying, I'd like to see, you know, who the strongest legendary truly is once you put them in the ring. So with that, guys, we got Deoxys, the DNA Pokemon. So let's go ahead and give this Deoxys a nickname. And we are going to go ahead and call it, this is actually a good one, you know, it sends signal beam. So we're going to call it Beam. And with that, Beam has been transferred to the PC. Good for us then. We actually caught Deoxys quite easily. There should be one more Pokemon left, and I hope you guys are ready for this one because it is said to be one of the stronger ones around here. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and make our way to the last island, and that is the Abandoned Isle. So it is here in the Abandoned Isle that we are going to be looking for a very, very mysterious Pokemon. I think you guys can take a wild guess what the most mysterious of the legendaries would be, and I think I'd have to give it to Mewtwo. So Mewtwo is going to be here in this island, and now it's just a matter of us finding him because, you know, he's sure probably hiding somewhere around here. He's probably in a cave. We made it to Memory Town. What the heck? Why is there a town here? I didn't realize there was going to be a town and there's like a Pokemart just randomly thrown into one of these places. Okay, that's actually really cool. It looks like only authorized people are allowed through.
Don't worry, you can visit Labyrinth Cave.
Who is that?
Yes, young master. My brother told me about you. He seems to be appreciative.
Okay, so with that, guys, it looks like whoever the master is of this place has a brother who really believes in us. I wonder who that brother could be. I'm gonna go ahead and take a wild guess at it. Somebody we met throughout our adventure. It's probably someone important, you know, someone big. So with that, let's go ahead and see if we can find the mysterious place. And here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are officially inside of the Abandoned Islands maze. And a maze it's gonna be indeed. I hope you guys know how the maze is in Fire Red. You know, finding Mewtwo is a little bit difficult, so I hope that I can find him here as well. And you actually can't run here either, so it just makes it even harder. You gotta really take your time finding this place. They're not gonna just let you run right through it. They're gonna, you know, get you to have a good time, look around, to find all the items that you need, and then maybe make your way to Mewtwo. You know, that's kind of how this game is. And let's see where this is going. Okay, this is looking promising. You know, whenever we find a couple ladders around here, maybe they'll take us in the right direction. Or you can be, you know, one of those Pokemon games where the ladder just takes you to a dead end, and, you know, that's that sort of thing. We found a PP Max. You know, we could definitely use some of those items. You know, we could have used them a little bit earlier, too. So let me go ahead and see where this is going to take us. I'm really trying here to figure this out. Okay, we're going a little bit further down then? This is really taking us far down. Okay, well, let's keep on moving through here. The further down we go, the better. I'm pretty sure we have to go, there we go, all the way down. And we are just about ready. So let's go ahead and see. Oh my goodness. Let's get ready for Mewtwo. So here we go, guys. Rodri versus Mewtwo. Let's go ahead and take on what I believe is one of the strongest legendaries. I'll have to hear what you guys have to say. Well, let's go ahead and fight Mewtwo. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and go for the flamethrower. We got Rush ready to go. you know, Rush the Arcanine, not the puppy. You know, speaking of Rush the puppy, you know, I got him a nice little keychain, or his little, you know, dog tag. I finally put it on, and it's just really nice. It's great to finally have that on there. I feel like he finally looks like a little bit of a gentleman instead of just a crazy little wolf bear. And oh my goodness, that was very, very close, you know? The extreme speed once in a while. That's the sort of thing that happens. We actually have Mewtwo down to about as low as we're gonna get it. I don't think we're gonna get a better shot at this, so let's go ahead and throw the Ultra Ball. Maybe we could like paralyze Mewtwo or put it to sleep, but other than that, we have this Pokemon about as low as we can go without False Swipe, so we just need to hang in there and hope that we can actually... Okay. Oh, mother fudger, there goes the Future Sight attack, so that's gonna go ahead and take Rush down. Oh wow, we survived! We survived! I'm gonna, yeah, let's go ahead and bring out Toad. Let's go ahead and bring out Toad. Rush is taking way too much damage from Mewtwo, and I think Toad might be able to pull this off. So let's go ahead and see what our boy Toad can do. The Mist. I don't like the Mist, guys. The Mist is a little bit annoying. So we're gonna go ahead and throw the Ultra Ball, and here we go, Mewtwo. Come on. Nah, nothing. Doesn't his Mewtwo also look like he's dancing? It's always cool to see where the Mewtwo's are in different games. And this one, something a little bit different about this Mewtwo, you know? It just looks like it's getting jiggy with it down here. Oh boy, this guy is just gonna sit here and power up. You know, the cool thing is we could power right back up and we could be right back in it as well. We could be right here with Mewtwo, powering up alongside it, but we're not gonna need it too much. But it worked out well. This guy doesn't have Recover. And there we have it, guys. So it just pretty much took throwing a lot of Ultra Balls, and that's what tends to happen here. So we got Mewtwo, the genetic Pokemon. It is 6 feet tall. You know, this one would actually be around our size then. That'd actually be really, really cool to see this Pokemon. Let's go ahead and give a nickname to the Mewtwo. Now, you know how we have Mew, who's the original, then we have Mewtwo. I don't think there's anything bad with being, you know, Mewtwo. So we're gonna go ahead and give this guy a little nickname. I think this will actually be pretty cool. So we're gonna go ahead and call this Pokemon 2. So with that, 2 has been transferred to Lynette's PC. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we are just about done here with the tickets. So that was all the legendary Pokemon that you can catch from the Challenge Factory. Those are the 4 tickets you can get, and we went ahead and caught all of them. It was actually really simple to catch. We had a really good time with it, and that's what I'm all about. So we only have a handful of legendaries left. There's about 5 legendaries left for us to catch, so we'll be sure to continue on and catch the remaining legendaries after that. Wait, who's this?
No surprise when you're here. The Eon Pokemon, Rayquaza, and now Mewtwo. You made me way back in the day. A lot of memories returned to me when I came back to this town. Having the most powerful Pokemon will make you happy? Farewell!
Whoa, and with that, guys, someone else is talking about the strongest Pokemon. So I suppose we're not the only ones in that discussion. With that, though, we are done here in the abandoned island. So let's go ahead and get back to Mr. April and make our way back to the islands so we can get out of here. Now, I am very excited to continue on from here. As I told you guys, we are about to wrap up this game, so make sure you guys stay tuned in. Leave me some tips and comments on what's coming up. Make sure you guys go ahead and give this video a big like. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy your Sunday. Goodbye.